Alright, so before we start, I just like to do a quick apology na yung video natin for today, I recorded it during lunch, no? And the reason for that is wala lang ako sa market close and I still wanted to get the video out, so I felt like this was the best compromise I could do. I took it as far as I could before I had to leave. So kahit papano, hindi tayo sobrang quote-unquote late. Now that being said, let's start off with Puregold. Itong Puregold, it was starting to push lower than nung Friday, di ba? Nagkaroon tayo ng push to the upside, retook itong level na to, around 34.75. And then today, we opened na nag-gap down ng konti, mock down. Tapos medyo nandyan lang muna tayo, no? Essentially, it hasn't really done much. Nakaipit lang siya dito sa range between 34.75 and 36 pesos. Now, kung kunwari, ma-reclaim natin tong 36 and we can actually start holding above it. Kasi if you zoom in and then you look here, it tried to push higher pero talagang untog eh. Talagang matigas tong 36, it tried to break it pero nabitin. So if we can come back up and start holding above it, I think it opens up this range here between 36 pesos to 37.85. And syempre, kung mabasag yung 37.85, we could potentially push higher and revisit etong inflection point na to around mga 40 pesos more or less. Okay? Pero kung kunwari naman, from here, what happens is we actually break down further, take out tong swing low na to around mga 33.25. Next level of support natin will be at 32.6, followed by this purple zone here. Now, tong purple zone is an area of interest for me. If I can see price pull back here, tapos magbigay siya ng some type of bullish structure, then it could be something that piques my interest dito sa Puregold. Bakit dyan sa purple zone? Kasi dito tayo nagkaroon ng last minor consolidation prior to the strong move to the upside. So the expectation is, if we do pull back here, we might be able to find some type of reaction in that area. Now, whether or not attractive pa rin siya if price ever comes all the way back there, remains to be seen. Kasi maaaring marami na siyang pwede pag-untugan along the way and hindi na siya magiging attractive from a risk-reward perspective. But, that's something to watch out for dito sa Puregold. Now, if we do pull back and if we break the purple zone altogether, then that opens up this range beneath from 28.55 hanggang 31.10. Okay? So, yun lang yung mga potential scenarios that we'll be watching out for dito sa Puregold. Next, tignan natin tong Converge, no? Now, the last time we looked at Converge, it was around this area here. Okay? And we did mention na we were, number one, still trapped within this range here. Okay? And number two, essentially, downtrend pa rin tayo. Walang nagbago from a structural standpoint. And textbook pa rin tayo na downtrend, meaning we're still seeing lower highs and lower lows, no? Now, as of this area, nagpatuloy lang yon. Nakakuha na naman tayo ng bagong lower low. And what happened, if you zoomed in, was price pulled back. Binilikan niya tong 18.24. Never got quite to filling the gap here. Tapos nag-try na siya ulit mag-push down. Now, syempre, hindi pa confirmed yon. We could still come all the way back, tag this gap here, and then we can see maaaring mag-gap fill dyan, tas tumuloy kasi may isa pa ring gap na naiwan dito. Find that, then we roll over. Now, paano natin masasabi na may nagbago kahit papano? Para masabi natin na kahit papano may nagbago na structurally, depende kung ano yung hinahanap mong type of trade. If you want to trade the range, then a break above itong mga area, itong mga 20 pesos is good. I think that opens it up hanggang mga 21.26, possibly with overshoot hanggang 22.4. But if you're trying to trade a potential reversal, then you really want to see this range break. If we can get a break to the upside ng 22.4, let's see kung makakuha tayo ng magandang pullback, mag-hold, mag-form tayo ng higher low, then perhaps yun na nga. Baka yun na yung simula ng potential reversal dito sa Converge, no? But for now, there's really not much there. Patuloy pa rin yung pababa natin. So, there's really not much to do other than to keep watching. Now, kung meron kayong inaabangang value area dito sa Converge, then by all means, go ahead, buy it if it ever gets there. But from a purely technical standpoint, there's really not much else left to do other than to be patient. Now, itong green, we already discussed it before pero marami na nangyari since then, no? Una, ang sabi natin noon, we wanted to see price break above 1.85 sana and hopefully hold above it. Unfortunately, while we did get the breakout here, the very next candle, binawi agad. Diba? It broke beneath, then from there, what happened? It came back, tested yung key level natin, this time as resistance, tapos bumaksak na siya. Now, the other thing that we mentioned was gusto sana natin mag-hold tong purple zone na to and hindi rin nangyari yon. We broke beneath it in this candle here and then more or less na-retest natin siya sa ilalim. Tapos we're currently consolidating dito sa baba. Now, habang nagko-consolidate yan dyan, yung range na tinitignan natin for green would be 1.52 hanggang 1.62. If mabasag yung 1.52, baka ma-revisit tong mga lows na to dito around 1.45 and if we break that, we might come back and revisit tong key level at 1.34. Okay? Now, kung kunwari naman from here, it comes back up and starts trading above itong purple zone na to, that's good in such a way na parang bumalik tayo sa higher end ng wider range na to. But from a bullish perspective, hindi ka pa rin pwede mag-all-out bullish kasi you're still trapped sideways diba? If gusto nyo talagang maging bullish, what you'll be looking for is talagang mabasag at mag-hold na tayo above itong 1.85 pa rin. If we can do that, it opens up this wider range here hanggang 2.13 with possible overshoot hanggang dito sa supply zone dito sa white box na to. Okay? But for now, where it is, medyo dehado pa tayo ng konti. Kasi buying it here means you're buying it at the top end of the bottom range. Diba? And even if it pushes slightly higher, ang pwede nating ma-anticipate marami. Pwedeng gap fill, pwedeng mauntog sa mga lows na to, and so on. So, marami pa siyang, well, quote-unquote, issues. So, we might as well just wait hanggang umayos siya ulit before we start considering trading this again. Except, if you're a range trader and pasok to sa setup mo for one reason or another, then by all means, no, go ahead. Kasi nga, obvious naman kung ano yung range na pinagtatradean natin And if that's something that you intend to do, then good luck sa inyo, no? And I hope na maging profitable yung trade na yon. Next, let's take a look at AGI. Now, tong AGI, umangat siya, nauntog tayo dito sa supply zone na pinag-usapan natin when we last discussed itong AGI, no? Then from there, we started pushing lower at binalikan natin tong level na to around 10 pesos. Why is that an important level? Kasi it's an inflection point. It acted as support here, support there, resistance here, and so on, no? Plus, kita naman natin na dyan tayo nag-range pansamantala prior to the breakout to the upside sa area na to. Okay? So, etong 10 pesos, hindi nakakagulat na nag-react dyan yung price kahit papano. Now, kung kunwari tuluyan siyang mabasag, then what we're looking at for yung next area where price could react from would be itong white zone sa baba kung saan tayo nagkaroon ng minor consolidation bago tayo nag-break to the upside. So, hindi siguro nakakagulat kung bumalik tayo dyan at makahanap tayo ng some type of reaction from the market kasi may mga nabili dito, obvious naman bago tayo tumulak pataas. Okay? Now, kung kunwari naman from here, ang nangyari is nag-range lang tayo sideways, then we're gonna have to readjust our levels kasi baka ang mangyari from there is mag-trade muna tayo between 10 pesos hanggang dito sa white box na to. Okay, maaaring yun yung maging range natin moving forward. It's just that hindi pa natin masabi na, oh sure na yun yung range kasi di pa nangyayari. Okay, yun yung mahirap sa mga ganito You do need to see it happen in order for some type of certainty to kick in. Diba? That's why we wait for confirmation. Now, syempre, kung bullish kayo na AGI, what you want to see is for price to break above itong 11 pesos sooner rather than later kasi it does open up all of these levels na naiwan sa taas. But until then, I think mas maganda hintayin natin how this develops before we jump in. Diba? Yes, it's channeling. Diba? Maaaring bull channel yan. Tas we can trade on a break to the upside. But for now, wala pa yan At least as of this recording, wala pa. We could channel even deeper. Diba? We don't know. So we're gonna have to wait and see na may mag-develop na something more solid bago tayo makakapasok or bago tayo makakaisip na, uy, dapat ko bang pasukin tong AGI or hindi. Kasi for now, parang you're just gonna be caught between a rock and a hard place eh. Entering it now, your stop beneath 8.86, medyo may kalayuan, no? Pero di mo naman siya malagay ng kung saan-saan lang. Kasi may gap dito, pwedeng mag-fill, tumuloy. Diba? Tapos may inefficient moves. Sabi natin, inefficient moves tend to get eaten up. Ito, inefficient move down. So nagkaroon ng move up para kainin yon. It's just always like that. We've seen it happen time and time again. So di tayo magugulat if it does happen. So it's hard to determine saan maganda maglagay ng stop above itong 8.86. So kung ganun din lang, odds are it's not gonna yield a good risk-reward trade para sa inyo. Diba? Don't just focus on the upside. You need to focus on the downside kasi yun yung controlled natin eh. Now, if you want to know more about risk, be sure to check out our Risk Management Academy series, and I've included a link to the playlist of that series in the description box below. And then finally, let's take a look at Ever, no? Now, I am not sure kung ano yung nakita nung nag-request for itong Ever. So kung kunwari, hindi ko na mention specifically yung tinitignan mo, paalalahanan mo na lang ako sa comment section para lang alam ko what to drill down into. Okay? Kasi pag tinitignan ko to, nakikita ko lang medyo parang barcode, bar chart, whatever yung itsura niya. And it doesn't really speak to me all that much, no? So, from here, ang nakikita ko lang is we're moving sideways in this range here, roughly around 28 hanggang mga 32, 32.5, more or less. So, kung ganon yung area niya right now, what I want to see as a potential bullish scenario is mabasag tong 325, and if it does, it opens up this range here hanggang 345 with possible overshoot hanggang dito around 36. Okay? I really wouldn't force the trade more than that kasi may pagka-trador to eh. 'Di ba? Not just trador na nangiipit but more of yes, meron siyang mga violent moves, but if you look at kung ano nangyayari sa kanya recently, it's more of, kunyari, range dito, balik sa range dyan, balik sa range dito. So if I was gonna target some type of upside move, I would put it within the current range pa rin, or within a previous range pa din, para lang kahit papaano may kasiguraduhan. Okay? Now, kung kunwari naman, from here, we break beneath tong mga lows na to, around 28, diba? Next level of support will be at around 265. And if that breaks, the next level of support will be 24. Tapos, baka matrap tayo sa range na to between 24 hanggang 265. Okay? But outside of that, there's really not much to talk about dito sa Ever. Kasi, it's just parang one sideways movement after another with no real conviction na okay, gusto ko na tumaas or okay, babaksak na ako. Parang walang ganon eh. So since walang conviction yung market overall, parang mahirap to jump in, 'di ba? Outside of potentially range trading it kasi nga yung market mismo hindi pa siya desidido kung ano ba gusto niyang gawin. 'Di ba? So it's very attractive na hindi kasi kapag na-trade ko tong range na to, 12%, 15%, 20% na yan eh. Sure. But hindi mo kasi alam when you're gonna be caught in the wrong side of that trade. And since napakahirap pwestohan ng stop to na maganda, at least for me, then baka yung napanalo nyo, hindi pa enough para i-cover yung matatalo nyo kung sakali mang mangyari yon. At least for me. Now again, kung sino man nag-request na to, pakiusap ko na lang na if you can, kung hindi ko na-discuss yung gusto mo, let me know in the comment section below para we can come back to yung Ever and discuss it further. But for now, there's really not much left to say about this particular stock. So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin, no? I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit konti and may natutunan kayo kahit papano. And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!